everyone! Welcome to one more episode of Talking Times. Today we're gonna have an amazing conversation about illustrations. I'm here with Giovana Diniz and I'm excited actually. I just found out that she is also into a very nice animation that is being a really success. Is that a movie cinema? Is that a cinema right now? But anyways, right after our podcast intro, don't go anywhere. Hello, welcome Giovana.
Hi, hello, perfect.
Thanks for being here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Before we start, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Giovana, or Giovana Diniz, or Giovana. Anyways.
Do they call you Teacher G there too?
And they call me Teacher Giovana, Teacher G. Okay. I'm 24 years old. I'm an English teacher and also a freelance artist. Okay.
Nice.
So, hello guys.
As we were chatting before, our jobs are safe, you know. Actually, this was a discussion that I had with some teachers in one of our meetings. Have you ever seen those AI teachers?
No.
It's a little creepy, you know, because they are basically like real-time correctors. It's something like this. You say, oh, hello. My name is Mike, and then do you mean your name is Mike? Mm-hmm. It's something like that. And then we were having the exact conversation about a different topic that because it's not a real person there, even if the service is good, the student feels that there is something correcting and teaching. Mm-hmm. It's not the same because it's not a human there, And
a human is gonna see your difficulties and maybe it's not gonna be correct all the time, but for example, we do that if someone says something that is wrong, we usually say, oh, yes, and then you repeat, but more, no, you got it wrong.
Exactly, that's weird.
You got it wrong.
And it's exactly like that. There is one of the AI teachers that is like this flat face. The face is always the same, and like this. Okay, do you mean that you have no time to study English? And they should. It was an edge, but anyways, I guess it's fine. Our jobs are fine. But every time I have an English teacher here, I like to ask about what's your story. How did you learn English? What motivated you? And it's normally, Mike, I was doing a little bit of this and that, and then I started teaching, here I am. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much what happened to me. So what's your story about that?
About English?
Yeah.
About learning English? Well, since I was, a preteen, I've been already using internet, so you always are using English on the internet. But the way that I actually learned it or started to learn was actually quite a fun story. Basically, what happened? I had a 10-day trip to a beach, okay? And there was no Wi-Fi in the
Oh, so cruel with teenagers, right?
There was no Wi-Fi on the house that we would be in. So what I did, there was my favorite TV show, my favorite animation, which was Steven Universe.
Okay. I don't know this one.
It's from Cartoon Network.
Steven Universe.
Steven Universe, yes.
Okay.
The creator worked in a lot of episodes from Adventure Time, for example.
Oh, this one I know.
Okay. So, basically what they did something that was called Steven Bombs, which was they passed a lot of time, like they passed months without releasing anything. And then out of nowhere, they released 5 or 6 episodes, called a Steven Bomb. That was one episode per day.
Oh, okay.
And then they went into hiatus for months afterwards. Okay, so while we were at that trip, they happened to release the 5 episodes. So what I did, because they were newer episodes, I downloaded them with subtitles in Portuguese, but they had English audios. But I said, okay, I have 5 episodes, 10-day trip, I can like watch 1 episode per day and I'll be fine.
You watched everything one day.
I greatly underestimated how much I love the show because I watched everything in one day, in one go. And I had 9 more days.
And it's like 20 minutes episodes probably each.
No, it was less. It was 10, 15.
That's normal. Oh my god, in 1.5 hours?
Yes, and I watched everything. And I had 9 more days without doing anything there outside of going to the beach and then come back.
So boring, right?
So I rewatched it.
Okay.
And I rewatched it. And I rewatched it. And I rewatched it. And like, after like 5 times that I was rewatching it, I noticed that I wasn't even reading the subtitles anymore.
Oh, that's really cool.
Because I already knew everything that they were talking about. So I
started to make sense to you.
Yes, so I understood. Oh, I'm basically understanding it, and I've already. And back then, I had heard some people saying, "Oh, a great way to do this is to watch with subtitles and then to rewatch it without subtitles." And I ended up doing it without even noticing. So for the next episodes, I did the exact same thing. Like I watched it without the subtitles or with the subtitles but English audio. And I went from there. So as I grew older, I ended up understanding more and more and researching and learning. And nowadays, nowadays, everything that I watch is either like in Portuguese or it's in English, like with Portuguese subtitles or without subtitles at all. And
this is amazing because it's like that. When I started to watch a lot of animes, we were talking about animes before, and I don't know 1% of Japanese language, but the 1% that I know, I've learned to watching animes. You start to understand, like, nani? Okay, these words I know. And then something like "sugoi" is like, oh, this is like awesome. You understand it too because we
yes.
It's so cool. And then imagine, that's the reason. Take notes, students. If you are in another country, it's the same process that has already happened when you learned your mother language, because you had no internalized language which you could use to translate. So you are there, and then people do this like "chungken-gua." Okay, I think I have to go. And then you listen like "chungken-gua." Okay, "gua" is like come, and "gua" is like don't come. Maybe something like this. You start to make these associations. The interesting thing though is that it was not with people, was like a cartoon, and you could do the same stuff because your brain already knew the context.
Yeah, whenever students ask me, "Oh, teacher, what is a tip that you may give to me for me to understand better English?" I would say, think about your favorite cartoon, because whether you like it or not, there are some cartoons that are not for kids, but a lot of them, they are targeted for kids. So the language is a little bit easier.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The speaking that they use is way easier. So the speech that they use is way easier. So it's easier for you to understand, for you to know what they're talking about.
Yes, I'm laughing. I'm smiling here because I remember when I was a kid, I loved Tom and Jerry, but there's only screaming. There's no dialogue. No. Yeah, exactly. This type of thing. But it's very cool because the lesson there is you relate your necessity to learn a new language with something that you already enjoy, already like, and then you make the obligation, like some.
It's not a chore. It's a
something
leisure
nice.
time.
It's a pleasant experience. That was the word I was looking for. All right, so okay, this was the spark that initiated your desire to learn English. And when did you find out that you say, oh, I can teach too? How did that happen?
Well, basically, I was always a little bit of a nerd, okay. When I was in school. So I realized that things got into my head easier if I was teaching someone. Okay, there was these school subjects, so it was easier if I was learning what I need to learn while I was teaching people. So physics.
Physics?
I'm horrible at
terrible at
chemistry,
physics.
which I'm also horrible at. But history is, I'm good at history.
Right.
But things like that, I was always talking with people and teaching them. So I always had this thing of teaching. I also did some lives back in my days. So on these lives, I was also teaching about the universe, space, and all this stuff.
Really?
Related.
You were like a YouTuber thing?
Yeah, it was on Twitch. So I did it when it was pandemics. Nowadays, I don't do that anymore.
No, but
I don't have time.
It really. I have this YouTube channel that I used to same stuff, share thoughts and something like that. During the pandemic, this was amazing. It was essential because we couldn't go out, we couldn't see our friends, so it was a way that we could connect, even to strangers. Like, oh my God, yeah, Mike stuff. We should do this and that. It was a nice coping mechanism that I had at the time. Okay, so it makes sense because when I was writing a book, I remember recording videos about the topic that I wanted to write to see if it made sense, like if it's completely utterly bullshit, I just delete the video. I don't write to embarrass myself. I embarrassed myself, it's already there, but at least I was certain about the topics, and it really helps because I don't know, it's like having another perspective.
Yes, I did a lot of that, and like sometimes while I was speaking to other people, it made sense. So it started as a way to study, and I always had this thing that I like to teach people. So it came naturally.
Yeah, this is something that is very hard to teach. The desire to enjoy teaching people. I guess you can teach that stuff. That's why people say, you are born a teacher. You don't become. You just improve some things and you adapt, Nice. And, okay, you are a teacher from Times Trianon. Let me see here in the chat. Shout out to you, Francisco, Simone, Bruna, Fabrício, Times. Okay, hello guys, and your question, okay. Your hair is magnific, okay. Okay. Hey, that's my core there. Good you. Okay.
That's me.
And
Hi.
okay, you are a teacher from Times Trianon, right? So
yes.
What are your favorite, or what is your favorite class there?
Well, I like a lot of classes. Sometimes lessons where we can help specific things. I mean, I like all lessons, but I think that my favorite ones are the conversation-based ones because we can go out of script a lot.
Yeah.
For example, yesterday we spent like 30 minutes doing stuff without not related, and I guess you have to come back here.
Yeah, I like one. This is a good problem, by the way. You get sidetracked because you are connecting to another human being and you're really talking. It's nice.
And that's why I also really like, usually I really like special classes because these are the classes that we do, right? Or they are there, but they are more broad topics, right? They have a great... I don't know how to explain, but they have bigger topics. You can go through other places. So it's good, especially when you created the special class because you see where it's going to go.
Yeah, the students get to know a bit of you as well. Oh, you are into this, teacher. That's amazing,
Yes.
And are you, or I don't know, have you ever used animations and these illustration topics in your classes? Like, oh, I love these, I know a little bit of that. Do you guys know? And they're like, whoa.
Yes. Sometimes when students are not understanding, I try the best I can to not use Portuguese, right? Because we try to teach using English. So it's when people are not understanding, I draw. Okay, so if I can draw, I will draw to them. For example, there was a student that he wasn't understanding that much of present perfect, simple past, the difference. So I did some drawings. I colored simple past in blue, and then present perfect in yellow, and I put it through O's. So this is that. Or for example, this is a finished action. I put Ash with butterfly. Our companionship, it's ended. It's a finished action. But then I put him with Pikachu. Oh, it's our companion. It's still an ongoing process. So he's present perfect. So I use a lot of tools to try to say what we need for people to understand.
No, it makes total sense. And again, when you use something that they already enjoy, like we have a bunch of nerds here, like starting with the teachers, and it's completely different. I'm going to give the silliest example ever, but for example, there was this lesson 1, and it was literally the second class, but the first was pre-class, so it was the first English class they were having. First time I had those students too. Then I don't know why or how, but we started talking about Dragon Ball in like the warm-up, maybe it started with me like, okay, Goku is he, for example, and Tenshinhan, he, Goku and Tenshinhan, they, was something very silly like this. And then when I realized the whole lesson 1 was around Dragon Ball, because they were really two otakus too, they really enjoyed Dragon Ball. And the discussion in lesson 1 was something like, but Broly versus Super Saiyan 4 and blah blah blah, and they started talking about the animation, by the way, the super animation. It sucks, and then the class felt like 5 minutes, but the whole secret was they got the grammar, that's the technical stuff that students normally think, we have to memorize. You don't. And they related to something
Sometimes
they enjoy.
Sometimes you get it wrong. You are here.
Then you have to make the process fun, I don't know if your students are like this, but many of the ones that we have, most of them actually, they don't go there to study because they love English, it's a passion. They see English just as a tool to improve their careers. It's just like that, I just need to learn the language because a lot of IT students, I want to get a better job or an international position, something like this. So, and they have a high level of stress during their routines. So if they go to a class and it's like, hello, you are saying it wrong, they're gonna be demotivated, So, but it was really, really cool. And just mentioning one thing, Dragon Ball, and the whole thing happened,
Yeah, the special class that I'm doing this week is especially about that. I'm always beginning. Hey, I'm always starting. Hey, are you what is your favorite media? And then they say, it's a book, it's a video, it's that. And then we go the whole class through it, and at the end I said, hey, so you said what is your favorite media? So I have a challenge now. Rewatch it, reread it, re-listen to it, go after it. Don't put English like it's a job for you to do. For example, I always use this example. If I open my YouTube right now, I will not go like 10 videos without seeing a video in English. Because every content that we go after, there's gonna be content about it in English, except if it's a content that is specifically just for Brazilian people. But almost every content is gonna have an English content about it. So go watch it. You can see a lot of stuff that are pretty cool. So I'm doing this whole class for them to focus like it's something for you to enjoy, not something for you to I had to learn English.
Exactly.
Yeah,
One
it's
more
horrible.
obligation during the week. And you are right. And actually, anything they like. For example, I accidentally discovered a Brazilian YouTuber that only record videos in English discussing football, soccer, football. For us, it's football. For soccer is just for the American
I
ones.
know. I don't understand why soccer.
It's like this: football for the rest of the world, soccer just for the American.
Oh, let's get the sport that they take balls and they punch it with their foot, kick it with their foot, and let's call it soccer.
Because reasons, yeah. That's an amazing discussion for another time, by the way. Yeah, but it was really nice. The name of the guy is Bruno something, but he has a very nice English, and it's very nice to see a Brazilian guy recording videos, giving our perspective. A lot of followers are from other countries, and again, you are like a soccer nerd or a football nerd. Find this type of content, engage in the comments, have fun using English just as a tool, you know. It makes everything else easier. Let me take a look at the chat. Oh my god, people love you here. Okay, let's go, G. You look cute, G. Okay, oh my god, it's Violet, huge fans. Okay. I don't know, internal joke.
Oh no, it's because my artist name is Gigi Violet.
Okay. Michelle Martins here. Why do so many characters in Japanese manga have such large eyes?
To see their expression.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it's to show off their expression.
Huh. Okay, nice. Good question. I love this, something that... Why? And then there's always a reason.
The expression.
Nice.
See you. Hey guys.
This is basic Paulo Freire in action. Oh yes, when the alphabetization process was with their own context instead of something abstract and distance. Yeah, it makes sense. El Dungeon, like the nickname. Okay. Lucas here. Hello, teacher. Hi, Lucas. Please tell us about experience with time Tranum students. Okay.
Well,
they're cool.
Yeah, they're cool. So a lot of them are like I said, a lot of them are nerds. A lot of them are IT people. So we always try to go through this because a lot of them they are IT, but they don't know English. So they're always very focused on technology or things like that. And usually when you're focused on technology, you usually are focused on geek media.
Yeah, it's true.
So we use a lot of geek media to teach them. For example, we also use things for other jobs. For example, it's kind of funny because when you are programming, you're coding, you are using English.
Yeah, it's true.
So, for example, whenever we get into like conditionals lesson, I say you use conditionals all the time.
Yeah, they do.
If that happened, then if else, you use it all the time. So we explain it with their job, with things that they do. So yeah, they're kind of fun. They since they enter in a lot of classes, we get this kind of. Sorry, I will put it here because I'm always jumping it.
It's fine.
We kind of get this friendship going, so it's cool. It's really cool. I like them.
And it's very interesting because the first time they go to the classes and they see, oh, I am actually talking in English. That's a very common question, like, well, I've never studied before and I have to go to a conversation. Yes, you do. The whole secret here is learn the second language the same way you learn your first one, and then the magic happens, Okay, so we were talking about how you started to learn English, how to become a teacher. Okay, but how did your passion for illustration begin? What's the story there?
Okay, it's also a bit of a fun story. Okay, so I always loved art. My brother, he had I forgot the name of the thing that you put your clothes on. The object that you put your clothes on. I forgot the name.
A hanger, wardrobe.
A wardrobe,
okay.
Yes. He had a wardrobe, and I got some pin.
Pause. This was a real interaction. It happens all the time. You see, what's the name of that stuff that you do the other stuff? Oh, you mean this? Oh, yes, that. Oh, see, so
Paraphrasing,
Exactly.
incredible. So, basically, I got a pin when I was a kid and I scratched it all over.
Oh,
But,
he must have left.
Yeah, incredible. But my real passion, like, oh, I really want to do this. It started with a crush.
Okay.
Basically, I had my neighbor. I really wanted to impress him, and we played a lot because we're like, what, 11, 10. We were really kids.
Time to have
We were
your
really
heart
tiny.
broken.
Yes. So
Canon event.
so I tried to impress him because we played a lot, and I remember like me opened YouTube and said how to draw manga.
Oh, he was like an otaku guy.
And basically
Or he
that,
wasn't true manga.
Yes.
So,
So
okay.
how to draw anime, and
Okay.
I've learned how to draw anime to draw characters. You know, the characters that we were doing in our little stories, and I actually dated him. Okay, but it was a kid's thing, you know.
Yeah.
So we did it like for like 1 year or less than that.
Oh, that was a long time.
Impressive for a kid, yes,
Yeah.
impressive.
You guys
But
were committed.
not that much, but okay.
Okay.
And then I fell out of love with him, but I fell in love with art. Yeah, I fell in love
Okay,
with art.
that was a very nice silver lining there.
So I actually started to, I really enjoyed this, and I continued to draw, and
That's
continued
cool.
since then.
Oh, that was is a happier story than mine. When I was
We were 10, like
no, I guess I was 11 or 12. Oh, that's a new story, okay? It's not me story of how I started to discover that I can speak English. It's for another episode. We have this joke here that's like a bingo. I repeat the same stories all over. Anyways, but I had this crush when I was at 6th grade, I guess. Was the 6th? Yeah, I guess. I decided to send her flowers, you know. Exactly. You see her face? That's the face. I was a very romantic person, you know, when I had a heart. And I wrote these anonymous notes, you know, and I had a friend. Damn, man, so nice that internet wasn't invented or wasn't a big thing back then. I'm 40, so, you know, this is like many years ago. And I had this friend, and he was a poet. And I asked advice to him. And he was a poet like 12 years old. So it was like not my brightest moment. And I said, hey, Franco. He became a DJ after that, so like some years. Cool guy. You know, I say, hey, Franco, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna do this stuff. Please don't tell anyone, you know. And what could I do, man? I wanna get her a nice bouquet of flowers and say, Mike, you have to give her a bouquet of red roses. Red roses, yeah. With just a white one in the middle. There's a white one in the middle. Okay, taking notes here, man. We used to walk back home. And why? I said, because you're gonna show that she's a beautiful flower, different than the other beautiful flowers. That's what the white rose in the middle represents, like a distinguished flower in a beautiful garden. I was not the latest man back there, you know? And I thought, okay, it's special, nice. Then I went after a place to deliver the flowers and tell when and during like one of the classes. And I was so nervous that day, like, then somebody knocks at the door. Okay, I'm not gonna say her name, but Fulana, oh, you are
Jimmy Joe.
You are being requested here at a like secretary or principal's office. I don't remember because I was too nervous. And then she went away, got the flowers, and she loved the flowers. She really loved the flowers. She loved the flowers.
Wait,
only.
you gave the flowers without telling her
No, I
it
just
was
put
you.
like a note there.
But did you said that it was
No,
you?
it was like an alias, you know. I didn't
What
put...
was your plan?
My plan was, if she liked it, eventually say, oh, you like the pie. I gave that. But, yeah, the plan didn't go nice.
You didn't have the courage.
No, I think she figured it out because she knew I had a crush on her. But I don't know what happened in that year that she really didn't like me, you know, or she was into another guy, and always the coolest guy who used to smoke and was for another grade. Anyways, canon event. don't send flowers to girls that are not into you. Send to your mom, to your sisters, to your wife.
Especially if they know that you like them, but they don't really care about that. It's a
terrible idea. That's a terrible idea.
It's a pretty clear sign she's not into you.
But we have to do these mistakes to learn, you know, and that's the lesson here, you know. Anyways, let's go back to your story that is much more interesting than mine. So you sticked with the illustrations, you kept doing that. And when was the first time, Giovana, that you drew something and you said, oh my god, I can actually do this, it's amazing?
Well,
because artists are perfectionists.
I have a really pretty distinct memory of me drawing Trunks from Dragon Ball.
Okay, you see, nerd.
And I showed my brother and he was like, oh, it's really cool. And I was like, yeah, it's really cool. And then I continue with that. Like, it's nice. I have a pretty clear memory of also, you know, those hard books, like big books that they sell, like how to draw manga, and they got with like models and everything.
Yeah.
Those models are horrible.
Really?
Also. Yeah, they're not really good. But anyways, and then what happened was I was not really good at it because I was at the beginning. You don't start really good.
Normal.
And I remember like seeing One Piece cover and thought, when I'm going to do like him, like I want to draw what I want.
Like Oda.
Yeah, like Oda. I want to draw what I want and I can get it. It never happens. In your mind is always prettier. But
Oda's genius. But the Oda thing, but by the way, let's not go to One Piece because it's gonna be
I've never watched it.
No,
so it's
okay. It's okay. It's because
I've seen 1,000 episodes and not for me.
No, but it's another canon event. Every One Piece fan is gonna tell you the same thing.
Episode 474 and
it's gonna be like this. If you can get past the episode 200 something, it's a one-way road. The thing that really stuck with me about One Piece, he has a distinguished cartoonesque vibe. I guess he really loves cartoon, and for me, when I started watching, it was a little cringe because the animation is from 1997, but it's not like, for example, the classic Berserk animation. That's the first one. The other one we don't talk about. We just don't talk about. But what happened there? The story was so fun. It was so funny, actually. Fun and funny, you know, that it got me hooked. But I felt like I was watching Simpsons. You know, you are in season 20, and then you watch an episode from season 1, and it looks like really weird. Yeah, it's the same feeling.
But I like the old style of Oda. I don't like the newer style, but that's a personal opinion.
No, yeah, I could enjoy, you know, and then eventually after a few years watching, I had the feeling that, well, this would be amazing if they had the same quality of their recent stuff, you know, and now I've heard they're doing some reanimations, some remakes. I'm happy with that. But the story got me hooked. But I noticed this, it's an anime with a cartoonesque vibe, you know, and it was something unique about that.
That's not always the same art style.
Yeah, you mentioned that you were trying to learn with those books, and eventually you went to an art school, right? Well, what's the name is? Pelas Artes.
Yes, I went to Belas Artes in 2022. Started in I think it was in the middle of the semester of 2022. And I started there. I did animation design in Belas Artes. I finished in the first semester of 2024. It's pretty good.
How was the experience where you had some kind of guide in there? Was it?
Well, it was a college experience, which was horrible. And you were, oh my god, I don't have money. I want to. I can't say that. I want to not be here, but you also want to be there.
We adults. Our viewers are adults. They understand.
But it was good. There are a lot of people there. They had the same interests for me because let's be real, animation design. You are a nerd, so a lot of people there. They had the same things. They love the same things as I do. As I did. So it was pretty cool, like the the professors, the teachers, they had the jobs in the industry, so it was pretty good. It was a good experience. I also want to go more, but not right now.
It's something that is common with college and university education. We create some expectations like, I graduated in advertising, so first weeks everybody thinks it's gonna be like madman. I'm gonna become an admin. I'm gonna learn how to do everything. I'm gonna be cool. And then when you see how the industry works, like you are more likely to get your first job working to a small company designing like the brochures of a supermarket. It's normal. It's really, and I'm not diminishing the profession or anything. It is really normal. The glamour, like people want the job that you are in the middle of a restaurant, you get like a napkin.
You have a red hat.
Yeah, you write some idea.
A French red hat.
$1 million idea, but
not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's something like that. How was this perspective to the illustration course? Like you imagine, oh my god, I'm gonna learn and go to a big studio. I'm gonna be like this and that.
I mean, being an artist, we always hear the things. Yeah, you're gonna sell art in the beach. You're not gonna be rich. We went there already knowing that. But yeah, I did think that it would be a little bit easier to enter the market. It's not that easy, but the projects specifically, they're really cool. For example, since it was a shorter course, so like only 4 semesters. In the end of each semester, we had to create an animation using different techniques. Okay, and on the first semester, it was full-on pencil draw. Okay, on the paper.
Damn.
So we did I don't remember how many seconds, but it was seconds. It was not wow.
So people still do like the old school.
Yes. I mean, it's for us to learn, right? It's not that much used in the industry, but yes, definitely. For example, there is a game called 𝗬𝗏.
Oh, yeah.
That they try to mimic the art style from the 20s, right? The golden era of the animations. So what they did was that they illustrated every single thing in paper.
Damn.
They cel-shaded it, which was like you put it in I think we put it in a glass and you put it under it. I don't know exactly how it is. I mean, I should know because I learned that in college, but I don't remember right now.
But everybody gets the idea. Is the one like the stickman effect that you do like?
Yes, they had like parallax effect, which was like you put the character here, and then under it you had a background which was moving faster, and then another under here which was moving slower, and then another here which was moving really.
You're a very didactic person. You know that. Yeah, you were describing. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, it was a big machine, but it's really nice. So we learned that in the first semester. On the second semester, we had to do 2D animation, like digital animation. So with Tulum, with programs like that. We did it. You could have done like normal, which is that you draw frame by frame, or cutouts, which basically you do a model of a character and then you break it into parts and then you animate each part. Most of the animation series nowadays, they use it like that.
That's why it's so expensive. It's a lot of work.
Oh no, actually it's to be a little bit more cheaper.
Really?
Yes, because it's what is cheaper, to draw each frame or to draw one character and then
it makes sense.
Like it's a 3D model, but it's 2D.
But I mean, that's why
it's kind of complicated, and it's not that cheap, but it's a little bit cheaper than the different by frame. And then on the third semester, we had to do stop motion, which is basically you do a little toy there, a little model, and you're going to like pose it. Take a picture. Pose it. Take a picture. Pose it. Take a picture.
It's like the
pose it, take a picture.
CGI is not CGI from the 80s.
Yeah,
I remember a Freddy Krueger movie.
It was really, really tiring, but it was nice. And then on the fourth semester, we had to do 3D animation with Blender, like a 3D model and everything.
You used those Play-Doh models?
No. It was you go on the computer and you do the model, and you go and you animate it. You cry. It's really hard. You cry a lot, but you go and do that. It's pretty good.
I was thinking here, I couldn't understand, for example, why adding CGI is so expensive? It's a lot of work, a lot of art.
Yeah, you have to first you usually do the concept in 2D, okay? Like maybe on paper, maybe on digital, and you do and redo the concept thousands and thousands of times to you get into the final product. And then you sometimes, if you are a bigger studio, you put into a clay model really to see how the model is, and then you have to model it, and the first model is going to be really heavy, because you actually go and do clay just like this, but you can't animate that. So you have to go and you have to, I don't remember the name, but you have to make it again, but lighter. And then you have to do a skeleton, a rig. You have to put a skeleton on the model, and that takes a lot. Actually, forgot about it. You do the coloring. So the texture coloring, for example, to get things like Arcane or things like Spider-Verse, or really like things like Pixar. So the texture, the modeling is all on that. So you need to also see the materials. Okay, so a little bit of time there. And then you go and you have to rig, which is really complicated. Basically, see, I'm moving here and then I'm moving here, and then I move this finger, but it changes this finger as well. So I can't like lift this finger and then every finger lift up. No,
it will be a little off.
Yes. Yeah. So you have to put a lot of time on the rig. And you're gonna cry, because especially for walking, you don't know how hard it is to make a knee to do that. You don't know how hard it is to need to do that.
I hope everybody watching us here gets a little bit of
You're basically
tolerance.
animating a skeleton. It's really hard. It's really, really hard. At least for me, it was a hell. But anyways. And then you pull the rig. Okay, you have one character.
Damn. So when
you
these studios...
You can reuse, for example, the mesh, which is like the skin of the character. You can use the mesh for other characters. For example, have you ever played Hades, the game Hades?
Not that I remember.
It's a really good game, but it's a really pretty game. And for example, all of the characters there are a variation of one character or of another, because you can redo the rig. That's completely normal, but you just have to do some little adjustments. But every rig you have to, like, you can reuse it, but you need to put some things there and the here and there. So it takes a lot of time on just to do these assets, you know, the things before you start to animate. And then you animate, which is pretty hard as well. You have to do the background, you have to do the blocking of the scene, so which, like, the character is like in T-pose and they start to walk, but you just want to see if they are cool in the camera. And every single thing, you have to think about every single thing. Lip sync, it's horrible. You guys don't know how horrible it is to lip sync.
In anime, it's really easy to spot.
It's really hard.
When you see, like, for example, the person is saying, like, but what do you want to do? And the mouth is like...
Yeah.
It feels
But
off.
if you do, like, in 2D, you can get a little bit of a pass there.
Yeah, like Dragon Ball.
On 3D... No, it's pretty on the nose that you're doing that. Yeah. So yes, 3D animation, it can be easier in some parts because you don't have to draw it frame by frame, but it's pretty difficult. People don't give that much of a thought, but it's pretty difficult.
Okay, so you watching us right now, I'm gonna be in the chat with you in a minute, but starting with me, because I've been there as well. Next time that we curse when we watch some anime and say, oh, these animations suck, let's try to remember everything she said. And people are brutal on the internet. They would get...
people are brutal because they've never been... Like, after I had to animate that, I got a little bit... Okay. Yeah, but I mean...
I imagine you started to appreciate it more because you imagine you understood all the hard work that was put behind. Even, for example, I remember when there was this fight Naruto versus Pain, and there are some frames that are really weird, you know.
But those frames are made weird specifically for that, because of course, if you pause the frame,
it'll be like, yeah.
But if you just see the animation, it's going to be really fluid. That was what they wanted to do. That, for example, the infamous Sasuke frame where he's like this and his head is broken. It's on purpose. The animator didn't specify. Oh, just no. He did it very specifically to make it more fluid. So.
It's the same with Gear 5th of Luffy. Is the latest transformation. The middle of the fight, people are really picky. They would get like this very 1 millisecond there pause and like you know.
But if you go then and you play it, you're gonna see, wow, this animation is pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it has a lot of wonky frames onto it, because it's to make the animation really.
Damn, I will not complain anymore about Toei and other stuff. Let me go back here. A lot of stuff here. Okay, you are amazing. I love you. Your English is really good, Yuvi.
Thanks.
Okay, Anna is clapping here in the heart. I'm having flashbacks of my old English teacher with you talking. I'm here for it. Okay. What are some good career options for illustrator? Nice question from Marcel. Okay.
Well, you have the concept artists, which are basically a lot of illustrators. They want that. You have the concept artist. You have the background artist. You have animation if you want. And in animation, you can do a lot of stuff. You can do CFX animation, which are the effects.
You create a dragon.
Pretty good. No, you create the effects. I think it's CFC. Maybe I'm saying things wrong here, but you can do the effects of the animation. So like the fog or the
explosion.
Fire. Yeah,
okay.
You can do that. For animation, you can do rig, which rig is gonna give a lot of money because nobody wants to do rig. Modeling, if you are an artist, if you're just thinking about an artist, you can be a book cover illustrator. You can do illustrations for like big places, like painting on walls. So there are a lot of options for illustration. For example, you can do illustration if you have the patience to do that, and if you don't start with videos, you can be more of an illustrator for social media, which you're going to record everything. You're gonna record because people really love to see the process. People really love to see the process. So you put a camera here and you start to draw with the music. You're probably gonna have a lot of people wanting to watch that. So there are a lot of options.
Nice.
Okay, for art. There's also the logos, which are this more for graphic design. So logos or lettering, which you make the letters like this, the fonts. So lots of options for being an illustrator.
Okay, and there is one thing that you didn't mention. That is something that I've seen your Instagram as well, I guess. That you designed some like book cover, something like this. Tell us about your work here.
Yeah, basically, I've already done 2 book covers actually. One was for a book called 𝗬𝗃 on the Fim, I think. Is it that? Let me just recheck it. 1 second. Yes, 𝗬𝗃 do Lorde do Fim. Okay. Which was my first book, which basically the author came to me and said, hey, I want you to do this illustration because I really like your art. Oh, thanks. And then the second art book cover that I did, there's a third also, but this one wasn't released yet, so I'm not going to say about it. But the second one was basically, I was doing my own stuff on February of this year or January, something like that. And then out of nowhere, a publisher, a person, the authors through the publisher wanted to for me to do the book cover.
Nice.
And then I did it. I really rushed it, but it was pretty cool. I really liked it. And it's 𝗀𝗶𝗵𝗀, which is based on Stranger Things, all of that stuff. So they're like 5 teenagers in a van. So it's also based on Scooby-Doo. So it's a pretty good one.
Nice.
Really
This
like
is
it.
amazing.
I forgot to brought the book here. I
But,
to bring the book.
What's your Instagram address so people can see your work?
It's gd.violet.
Okay.
That's why people were calling you
That's why.
Violet. GD, Giovana Diniz.
Okay.
Violet.
GD.
Because
GD,
Violet,
nice.
Violet
Okay.
is my favorite.
Okay, I'm having festival. I saw this one. Good evening, everybody. What special lessons would you like to teach in the future? Okay, a question from
Special
Mei Wei.
lessons from the future. I'm trying to think first, right? Because you need to think a little bit more before you do the special classes. What I want to do about art, maybe to try to, hey guys, you want to draw? And maybe
This will be my suggestion.
It would be nice. And like I said, space. I really like space things, space related things. So maybe that.
If that class is open, you tell me the date. I really wanted to. I tried to learn. I was like, I can draw Edge from Iron Maiden. I can do that. Okay, this is my edge frame. Okay, it's like this. It sucks, I know, but
No, it's really good. It's pretty good. Look at this. It's pretty good. Or maybe like this. It's pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay.
No, but anyways, I know it resembles the school from that old 90s, 2000s brand, No Fear. But that would be nice because people will kind of materialize what they're learning there. Okay, we talked a little bit about this before, but who are your favorite illustrators or artists in general?
Okay, yes, I have a lot of them because when you are an artist, you also consume art, right?
Yeah.
Sorry again for that. When you are an artist, you consume art. So, for example, I have a lot of Brazilian artists like Rodrigo Lopes, which is a friend of mine, I really like him. There's 𝗬𝗀𝗏, which is like she done art illustrations for like League of Legends, pretty
nice.
Cool. Really love her art, and she does classes. I think that she's doing today also. Wednesdays she does lives, so really good. There is 𝗀𝗀𝗃𝗱𝗏 Freitas. He's also Brazilian. He participated in a lot of card games and all of that. Pretty good art as well. He's also a YouTuber, just like Ursula. There is Fernanda Dias, which is she's an animator. She's an illustrator and animator. Also, I did my first animation from the first semester based on her animation because I really love her art, which basically she does a witch bunny. It's really nice. For foreigners, right? For people outside of Brazil. I really like the art from 𝗿𝗃𝗃 or Xiao Tong. I think that they are Chinese. I think she's Chinese, but I don't know. Her illustrations are really pretty. The colors are amazing. I really love it. There is, it's also very vibrant. And talking about vibrant, there's also from Scenario, there is one called Devin L. I've read it here. Devin L. Kuntz. It's really good because he or she, I don't know the pronouns, but that person, they do like with a lot of backgrounds and they do a lot of arts that is talking about the dragons. Pretty good. Really good art. I really love their art. And there is the art director from Hades, which is Jean Z. Really love their expressions, really love the art. There's also the artist, which is more of a horror, which is Emiliana, I think. They did a lot of art, speed paints from Steven Universe, so that's how I discovered them. A lot of artists, like you can see.
No, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. The vibe that I got when I saw, I really like the way you use red, the purple image that I told you in your Instagram.
Yeah, from Arthur.
And the yellow one too. I remember an artist, I always butcher his name because it's like 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗶𝗃, something like this. Is an artist that used to paint his nightmares. Mm-hmm. And it has a bit of Dali and Van Gogh. And I thought about Van Gogh too because of the very bright colors, it's nice. And people in the chat here, oh man, you put me in a tight spot. Ōda is my pastor, and I shall lack nothing. That's my best translation for this. Okay, there's no way Ōda is genius. Yeah, he is. Sad because OP is good from the chapter 1. Okay, what's your favorite part? What's your favorite part about being a teacher, Jim? A question from Gal Dungeon here.
Whenever I can explain things and I can see on the face of the students the key, like,
the magic happening. Yeah.
Oh, I understood that. So I feel like, okay, I accomplished my job.
It's an amazing feeling. And about that, how do you convince our IT students about the importance of learning English? What's the trick you do there?
They code in English. They need to learn it. They need to learn English. It's going to be pretty more easier if you are writing things in a language that you understand. For example, the conditionals that I said. Well, you're doing conditionals every single day. If, else, then, so. It's pretty important. And it becomes easier. And, well, they're going to have more job opportunities and all of that. So English is a pretty important language for you to learn. For you to, know for you get more brand opportunities.
I said
I talk with my hands. Sorry, guys.
You use them a lot because you're an illustrator. It makes sense to. I told people in the intro of this podcast about the animation that everybody's talking about. That is Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer. Yes. Now that you explain a little bit of how the process works.
I don't have any idea how they do that.
No,
they are insane.
Yeah, but for that level of animation and episodes, it's normally like it's seasonal, not like every week. They just get a break. I guess this is hence the quality. It's not a weekly.
Oh no, they don't do in 1 week. They do way.
It's like a year, and they release the new stuff. I guess
even more.
Yeah. So can you give us a notion of how many professions you would say are involved to that, like in one episode, for example?
From Demon Slayer.
Yeah. 10, 20, 100.
Way more than that. There are artists that are for the special effects, which has a lot. And there is a lot of special effects in Demon Slayer. There are artists to do the concept art. There are artists to do the background, and not just one artist. It's thousands of artists. So it's a pretty half production.
So is 𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗶 the name of the studio?
𝗖𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗶.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I have never researched it, but at least I think 500 or more. I don't know. Or maybe I'm even putting way bigger. Maybe it's 100. Maybe it's 500.
No, but even though it's
a lot of people.
Because everybody has to work like a cog in a machine. So if one is off, the whole process, And
like they have the special animators that they are going to. I want this, but then they have the coloring, and then they have someone that sees there's also not just illustrators as artists. There's also the people that are going to put the audio, people that are going to put the audio, the writers, right? So there is a lot of stuff, the directors. So there are a lot of people involved in one episode.
One episode, damn. When they release a new season, I guess it's around 12. I may be wrong. I don't remember the exact number. You haven't seen the Castle movie yet, right?
No, but I already know what happens because I read the manga.
Okay. What were no spoilers? But what were your thoughts about how it ended? Kind of poetic. I don't know.
I don't know because I don't know about the anime. Because, for example, for me, the manga, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like, something happens, this character's introduced. Then, like, two chapters after that, something that happens with that character. So I felt nothing, basically. There was just one character that actually made me feel things there. So At least for the manga, I think that the author kind of couldn't do very well the timing things.
You think it was rushed?
It was pretty rushed. At least in my opinion, it was pretty rushed.
Yeah, I guess with the animation, they're gonna correct that maybe, because I thought the whole movie. Oh, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. I guess it's not a spoiler, but I guess the movie would be the last thing, would conclude, it would finish everything. But no. So you can go and watch, you're gonna have some character development there, And you mentioned about the Spider-Verse. I had like the same feeling, like a feeling of awe. You are watching and everything is amazing, the sounds and the effects, and for even the clash of the swords and bling bling bling, everything there is really I cannot find a better word, but it's a real piece of art. Like everything really fits together perfectly.
It's an illustration that is animated. Yeah, so it's really pretty.
Yeah. People were talking about Oda here. I have to mention him. Have you seen the Vagabond? The manga?
No.
Okay, Berserk.
Berserk, yes.
Okay, it's a similar style of drawing, but that's a discussion that I've seen some people having. Do you think that every media could be animated and that can be a nice work, or some things are better left untouched? Like, this manga, this story, no, better not do. Or it's just a new media, a new way of telling the same story.
I think that if you are creative, a lot of stuff can be told through animation. For example, Junji Ito. The first episode, a lot of people said it was pretty good, but then the second words, it was pretty bad. But for example, I thought that Junji Ito was not supposed to. I initially thought, I think that this might not be really good to animation, but the first episode was really good. The problem was with the rest.
There's a teacher here.
Was
he
with
loves
the rest.
Him.
But I've already seen like some things that maybe her is not really good in animation, but I don't know. I think that if you are creative, you could do a pretty good art.
I really want.
I think that it just depends. I think it just depends on the quality of the production and the creative.
Yeah, I guess the biggest obstacle here would be maybe the budget and time frame.
Yes.
If you work on a schedule that is too tight, after your explanation here, it's impossible to deliver something with a fine quality if you have 1 week to create. I don't know.
They never have 1 week, but it's at least I think 2 months.
Yeah, but it makes a lot of sense.
It's really rushed.
Okay. Unfortunately, you know what I'm gonna say, right? We're running out of time.
We are.
So I'm gonna finish with a Marília Gabriela question that is actually here. What do you expect from the future?
Well, I expect a lot more opportunities, not just for me, but for everyone, and to be able to continue teaching, to have other options, other brand new forgot the name, opportunities as an artist, as a teacher, maybe everything together or everything all at once, or using English because it helps teaching English, and also it's really good. So maybe new opportunities or things getting only better. So that.
Nice. And I'm very excited to see where animation is gonna go now, because I don't know. I'm gonna start Attack on Titan. My friend recommended. You said that it's one of your favorites too, and I'm happy about it, guys. Thank you so much. People love you here. See a lot of people talking about you in the chat. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with us. Don't forget. Subscribe here to the channel, leave a comment, follow her on Instagram. There's a lot of cool stuff there as well. And have a beautiful night. Don't forget, next Wednesday, same time, I hope to see you here on our next episode of Talking Times. Bye-bye.